Hi guys, how are you? So today we are going to see some very interesting object and oriented program for that Python. So many of you, if you are doing the course or if you are at the good position in your organizations or if you want to write that any efficient code, then most of the time actually required to uh, create object oriented programming, and that time actually you need to do. Actually, that time you require to need to do something such as you need to define some classes. Also, in that classes, you need to define some methods, and also within that, you also need to add like some self parameters. Also, you need to add some init methods, and there is another one is like super dot init. Okay, and also there are various types of classes such as means methods or types of abstractions or object-oriented programming such as abstractions. Then there is inheritance. Then there is polymorphism, and another one is like I'm not exactly remembering, but there are so many. Okay, so whenever any interviewer is asking questions or if you want to make your coding skills is very good, and some things like if they are giving simple one input such as they have given one input such as one list, and this is consist of 1 2 3 3 5, then 6 7 5 4 3 1. Okay, so I'm just creating one list which is containing the number. So I just want the list which is not repeating. It should giving the only elements which occurred at a single time. So it should not give the output which are not occurred in the multiple time. So output should be only single element occurred in list. Okay, so how you can do with object-oriented programming? So actually you need to define class in the object-oriented programming. So class always should be defined. I will write like list classifier. So here is no any such syntax like it should be capital or small. And you can give here parentheses if you want to inherit base class, or if you are not giving, then also it will not going to do any matter. So you can, if you are not importing any base class here, so either you can give here parentheses or you can means if you are not given, then also it's okay. Then after that, we want to take that input from user to the here. So we need to take that uh, input from users directly into that class. So you need to define some init function, and you should remember the syntax should be like similar. And always while defining any methods or that function, so always remember you should add self, because self will help to remember that specific variable or that instance of class will be belong to that particular methods, and without that you can't do coding. And so we will take that input here. I will add, instead of directly writing input, I will give here something here so that it should not create an issue. Okay, once this is written, then you should always write like self dot whatever variable we have defined there. So we have to add that variable here also, because directly you can't utilizing input as it is. And whenever I'm writing self dot input now, so that self dot input can be utilized in any methods within that class, or you can consider any function within that class. Okay, so now I'm defining here one method or function. So in the class for functions, it's called as a method. So if you are not understanding, then sometimes I'm calling this as a method. So please try to understand. So I will write function like uh, find single element list. Okay, so function name should be well defined so that others can be understand. Then you have need to always write self here. Okay, Okay, then I'm not going to take above input here because already that's through that init method self.input is initialized here. So we can directly consider like here uh, list given list. So I am writing here because you should understand given list is equal to just self dot input loop. Directly it will be called from that init method. Now I want to what I have need to do. I have just need to find that single element from that given list. So I need to find those elements which count is only one. So I will write here like final list is equal to, and I will utilize here list comprehension like I for I in given list if given list dot count I is equal to 1. I hope you have understand and I will apply here return. So in the return, I will just pass that final list. Okay, so what I have done in the list comprehensions, like I'm taking each elements from that given list from that user input and I'm checking if its counts equal to 1. Then we are just selecting all those elements and in the return, it will return whatever given there. So that's our code is done. Now actually what we have need to do, we have need to initialize that object here. So I will write object is equal to, then I have to utilize list classifier here. Now look friends here, actually whatever we are giving here through that init method now, so it's directly we are passing into that class. We are not giving init it into here in that function. So whatever you are passing here now, then you have need to give one. So we are passing here list, right? Either we can pass directly list here as it is, this is the list, or you can pass that variable name. Okay, I'm passing that list here. Now we want to call that specific method of that class. So here uh, we will call that specific object class. So object dot find single element list. I have need to call that method and I have need to complete that parenthesis. So it will going to give you directly return of your code. Okay, I'm here miss one parenthesis, so that's why it has given this error. Okay, and always remember whatever syntax you are giving here, na, it will should. So in the actually this Python interpreter actually it's not returning the answer, so you have need to add the print statement here. So I will write here like print and look it has given only all those single elements. Actually, without oriented programming, you have just need to write that code, only this one line, and you have need to do the print statement. But you know, nowadays everyone wants like you should do the code very well in like Python programming manner, like object-oriented programming structures and all those things. We will see this class and methods in another way. Like we have taken that init into the that class itself, right? Now instead of that, we will define another one, simple one, without utilizing init. So many people also don't know uh, how to mm, means they are also confused like when to utilize that parenthesis. Like in line number 27, I am creating. So I will just scroll this. So they confuse like when to utilize that parenthesis or not. And here now look, I have utilized here define init method. So without that also this is can be doable. So I will uh, taking that function as it is like define find single element. Okay. And here, actually, you need to initialize that whatever input given from users like input list. Now, if you are adding that input here, so instead of passing that list directly into the object class, now you need to pass this into here, into the object method. And I will write that code here like, now here you have need to, again, you can directly take that input list as it is. You don't require that self method here. Now final list is equal to I for I in input list if input list dot count I is equal to 1. Now, friends, you may be worried or you may be confused like why haven't I have written here like self dot input list here in that functions. Friends, or in that methods, friends, if you are taking that input variable directly into that specific methods, then for that only specific methods they don't require that self. Then when you require to add like self dot input list or something, so you're if you initialize directly through the class, and if you want to utilize that input into the other class means methods or functions, then you need to utilize. So I can utilize that self dot input into these methods. Then I can create another methods and I can utilize this as it is. But in these functions, if I am taking that input list now, so I can't utilize this into the other one. Either I have need to utilize that super init or something. So that difference also you should remember. Otherwise, many times you will get confused. Yeah, that's it. Now I will just create the object. Object is equal to list class. You have need to close those parentheses. This is the object is called, and then we have need to just initialize that function, and even within that method function you can pass input list. So whatever our input list is here, so I can pass that here, and I will add here print because this is in this interpreter it is not printing. So you will see, friends, now it has worked, right? Let's say what happens if I add here like self dot input list. Then also it will not create any issues. But if you are taking variable directly into the methods, then you don't require that self dot input list. But if you want to utilize into the another one methods, then you have need to do this. So I hope you understand, you have got the idea. Sometimes people also confuse like when to utilize here parentheses, when to utilize that init methods, and what are advantages, disadvantages, and what happens if you have not utilized, and all those things. So I hope this video will solve your many doubts and it has cleared your many issues. And this is and that things you should know, must know, and this is very necessary for everyone. So let's wrap up. We will stop here and we will go towards the another one. If you have any doubt or questions, please try to ask me in comment. Thank you. Bye bye.